G'day, Tonia Reeves, Australia's psychic cowgirl. Being a bit crazy before we started today, having a bit of a laugh. Anyway, I hope you've had a wonderful week. It's been a great week here. We've had freezing cold mornings and nights, but really sunny days. So it's been really enjoyable to get out. And today was the first windy day because I did intend to be outside, but the wind's just way too much. So that's cool. But the sun is shining, so it's really lovely for this time of year. Normally, we don't get a lot of it. So, yeah. So I hope you're all well, and thank you so much for calling in and sharing our page. It's really helps, for us to reach as many people as we can. For most of us working here on the network, this is our way of giving back and offering free readings. So, please make sure you share the page, because there's just often that person that really needs guidance that we really aim to reach. And, we can only do that with you guys sharing our info. So, thank you so much for all of you that already do that. It's wonderful. So today I'm going to have a chat about, just prior to starting, something that I was catching up with a great friend this morning and we do a bit of a jam session, and we're talking about money consciousness. And this is something that a lot of people tend to struggle with or find hard to digest. And it's something that I often share in workshops and readings even, to really be aware of what you feel about money. Money's it's a means of exchange. Money, it is a necessity to be able to do things. Look at what your views are. A lot of people come to me and say, oh, money doesn't mean anything to me. And, I don't, it's not the be all and end all. And I'm certainly not here to say it is, but it certainly does give us choices. And it's something that we need to love to attract more of it. So it's a little bit like what we admire and what we value is what we then can bring to the table. So if you're struggling with your money at the moment, or you're finding that, you feel like you're really stuck and you're unable to, because one of the biggest things is we don't just want money, we want more than enough money. So I think everyone can relate to that. And it doesn't matter, what you decide to do with the money, but it's about what sits right with you and understand where you're at with money. So if it's something you really loathe or you struggle to relate to, or you tend to look at people with a lot of money and be in judgment or feel uncomfortable around them, then you're not going to be able to attract that. So take a look at, where you sit with it. It is an amazing, how can I put it, the best way to manifest something and to make life easy. Like, money is a choice, I love to make money so then I can share that with others. And that's something that I do frequently with my readings. I will, I get people that come to me that are in a really, really, a struggling situation, and they've been through, some sort of horrendous experience. And the fact that I can make enough money to not have to charge them, to me, is awesome, and I love it. So to me, I attract more than enough so that I can then have more than enough to give back to others. And that's the way the world rolls. And for each of us, of course, it's different. But really have a look at where you sit with money. If you're struggling, if you always find that money's a problem, if you're getting that message continuously, have a look at where it sits with you. If you struggle week by week with money, if money's always an issue, do your work around it, because I guarantee you money is linked to self-belief. If you believe you're fantastic, you'll attract all that you need. Bottom line. Okay, so that's my message today. Money's not evil. Money's not bad. Money is great. Money gives you choice and freedom. So there you go. And it can help you do things, be healthy, all the rest of it. So, I just wanted to share that today and go, it's something that we don't often think about, but, awareness is everything. So be aware of where you sit with it, because this message just might be for you. Okay, I'm going to go on to my first caller now. I've got Sarah in Providence, Rhode Island. Hi, Sarah. How
Hi.
you going?
I'm all right.
Cool. Did you have something
Yeah.
specific you wanted me to tune into, or just tune
Yeah.
in for you?
Can you hear me okay?
Sure can.
Okay. I was just wondering, I lost my mom unexpectedly back in November. And
Yep.
I was just wondering if she's like okay, or we
Yep.
weren't always on
Okay,
the
let's
best
connect with
terms.
Sorry?
I said we weren't always on the best of terms.
Yep. Yep, that's fine. Okay. Let me connect with Mum. Can I just have Mum's name?
Yep, it's Sherry.
I was going to say it's similar sounding to yours. And that's Sherry. Is that with an S? Because I wanted to go.
I'm sorry, what?
How do you spell her name? Is that with an S or a C?
Shair.
Yeah. Because I wanted to go to similar to yours, and I'm like, Sherry, I would have put with a C, and I just wanted to confirm that. She was like, no, it's an S, and I'm like, is it? That doesn't seem right. Okay, let's connect in with her. So, Mum had a really hard life and a real struggle. She really had to battle throughout most of her life, and that's where she's acknowledging that, you know, she had that struggle relating. I feel like I also want to, what she's showing me is she had a struggle with her mother, so that didn't help her in trying to relate to you.
No.
Yeah, so she's acknowledging that, because basically we can only come from a place of what we're familiar with. And I almost feel like her with what she's showing me is when you guys were great, it was really, really good. And it was just, you know, there were those times where it slipped back. So she is acknowledging there were some really good fun times. And I also feel like there was something around her where she was like, I'm really happy, and then I'm really down. And I feel like there was some, almost like some sort of chemical imbalance or something whereby she would hit rock bottom and you kind of copped it. And she's acknowledging to say, you know, she now in spirit can see that, and maybe she didn't here on earth, but she's acknowledging it now in spirit to let you know that.
I have goosebumps.
Now also I'm just going to get some information on, she does connect in with you. There's been times where you've looked at things and gone, oh, that's a coincidence, or that something's just appeared or you've sensed around you. One of the things that she's showing me is a sense of smell. So do you either smell her perfume, or you've gone somewhere and gone, oh, that reminds me of Mum, but I feel like I want to go to the nose?
All the time.
Yep. So it's like she's confirming that in spirit. Yep, that's her sign. I almost feel like there's an acknowledgement too. She can do more for you now than she could, you know, she can do more now in spirit for you than she could here on earth. So it's like, you know, when I often get that message through spirit, when they pass over, they have that acceptance of things, and they almost gain that understanding of why things were like they are. And for her, it's like she feels pretty proud that she can connect with you and that you're aware that it is her. So I want to say, I get the feeling she's showing me, she's pretty proud of herself, which is cute. Now, there was something, I'm just going back to when she passed. She puts her hand up about being responsible, and I feel like I want to say she was holding on to something that didn't help her with her passing. So I almost want to go to, I don't know whether she wasn't well and she didn't do things or make the changes she needed to help herself a little bit, but she's acknowledging that now.
Yeah, she was, I don't know how long she was, she had passed, but nobody found her until like the next night.
Yep. She did it her way, but it was almost like she puts her hand up to say it could have been different, but she made that choice. So it's almost like her choices led her to her passing, and for you not to feel guilty about that.
Yeah, I feel like I let her down in a lot of ways.
No, you didn't. She's a very strong woman, and I know you're going to be able to, you'll relate to this. It's her way or the highway, and she made sure it was her way. So don't think that you would have changed it, because she's like going, nah, I was stubborn as, and I just did what I needed to do. But in that, I feel like, she could have maybe helped herself a bit more in what she's showing me now. It's like, her passing, there was, she didn't help herself is what she's showing me.
Right.
And she wouldn't have accepted help from others.
Is she with my grandfather?
She's having a ball up there. She's running, like, because she's such a, I want to say, like, she does it her way. So it's like anyone that's has that similar energy she's hanging out with. I also want to say she's showing me there's some dogs up there with her. So I don't know whether she had some dogs that had passed or, there's animals definitely around. And I feel like I want to acknowledge that she's happy up there. She's finally at peace. So I feel like there was an element where she didn't have that peace in life, but she has it now.
I still have goosebumps.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Everything you said.
She's also
right on.
Oh, great. She's also acknowledging that I want you to take the opportunity that's coming up. So I don't know. I feel like I'm going to, somebody's giving you an opportunity and you're almost feeling a bit like, oh, I don't know whether I can take it or not. She's just telling me to tell you to go for it. Okay? So don't doubt yourself. Okay. She's got your back. Also look for the number 8. She's showing me an 8 or almost like an infinity sign. I want to go to that. The infinity and beyond, that like continual. And there's also an acknowledgement of you stepping out of being held back. So it's like you're ready to blossom and, she's there to enjoy the ride with you. So, it's like she'll help with the opportunities and she'll help you find and meet the right people that will come along and help you as you need.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
But she's right there with you, so do not doubt all those signs that she gives you because she is around.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for calling in. I better go on to my next caller. Take care, Sarah. Your mum's beautiful too, by the way, I have to say. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go on to my next caller now. I've got Ashley, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. Ashley, how are you?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Cool. I like your energy. There's a lot of fun and mischief around you. I love it.
Oh, there's a lot of mischief. Yeah.
I love it, and I mean that in a true sense of the fun. So is there something you specific, because I feel like I want to go to, there's something specific you want to ask me?
Yes. So my grandmother passed away last year, and I had took care of her for 5 years, and I've been like really down about that ever since she passed away because I just really wanted a reading on her and stuff like that.
Okay. So you said she passed away and what, you hadn't seen her prior to? Is that what you said?
Yeah. It's been really hard for me to carry on because I was with her every day. So
okay. Yeah, absolutely. And it's okay. So there's also an acknowledgement. So she was like the mother that you didn't have. Yeah.
No, because she lived with us.
Yeah. But is there something, when they come through like that, it's almost like you had, I feel like, and it's not to go against your connection with your mum, but it's like the two of you, like your grandmother and you connected a little bit more. So I feel like there was something in what she's showing me is that there was, I don't know, like it's like a motherly connection, but specifically to you.
Oh, yes. She did always say I was like a daughter, I guess, because I did a lot for her.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like she wants to acknowledge that, so I have to go. She's putting her hand up. It's like mother. Okay.
Yes.
Let me, yeah. And I also feel within that what she was showing me is that she was able to do more with you maybe than her children. You know, like it's like she had that connection with you and was in a position to have fun and do different things with you, whereas maybe she was at work and not at work specifically, but she was busy to not have had as much time with her own children.
Yes.
Okay. There's a connection with that. There's a connection with outside. She's taken me outside of where. So you're still living where she was living with you, yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. Okay, because she's taken me outside. There's something out the back. Was there a place that you used to sit with her out the back, or because I feel like I want to go out the back door?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
yeah,
we sat out back all the time.
Yeah, so it's like she's showing me that's a special place to connect with you. So I feel when they show that, it's like if you feel you miss her and you really feel like you're not sensing her as much, go to that place and sit there as you would have in life, and you will find you'll get her coming in strong.
Yes.
Okay, so it's like that's important to her, and she's just, making reference to say, that's her little special place for the two of you. She's very proud of you, and I have to say there's an acknowledgement of since she's passed, it's almost like you've risen up and it's like you've gone ahead in leaps and bounds, I want to say. And she's acknowledging that in spirit, and almost like she's saying, I'm seeing this, I can see it, and I'm aware of the fact that you've really stepped up with things.
Yes, I had to grow up fast when I took care of her. I was 18 at the time, so I learned a lot. Yeah.
She's very proud of you, and it's almost like, you're ready to step into your own personal power and following your soul purpose now. It's like, obviously, with looking after her, you've been so selfless, and at such a young age, you've more or less put everything on hold for that. And, there's that gratitude and appreciation, but it's almost like she's acknowledging now, like, okay, I had to go, but look at where you're going now because you're really kicking goals.
Yes, yeah.
And she was a very selfless person. She's showing me she was a selfless person as well. So it's almost like with the message coming through is that it was her time to go, but she feels like in the scheme of things it was the right timing because, had she still been there, you wouldn't have stepped up and done what you've done. And it's like she's almost just acknowledging and saying it had to be that way, that I went ready for you then to step into what you needed to be doing.
Yes.
And she didn't like being a burden. Yeah. She didn't, that was one part she really didn't.
My grandmother always said, I don't want to be a burden and stuff. And I always told her, you never are. I always took care of her till the very end. I mean, never. Beautiful. She never bothered me.
No, that's beautiful. And that's, it's like the fact that at such a young age you were so giving and, and it's almost like I often see this in that you looked after her and now in spirit she's looking after you.
Yes. And see, that's my dad's mom. So he has a hard time too because she lived with us. So, he saw her every day. So I think, I feel for my dad too because that was his mom.
Yeah, for sure. And she had a lot of knowledge and wisdom around her, and it's almost like, with what she's shown me, she was definitely the matriarch of the family, and it's kind of like when somebody that's that big in personality goes, it's like this big hole is left. Even, when you lose somebody, of course, you feel yeah, there's definitely that missing link. But for her, she was very much a big powerhouse within the house. So, you know, I can totally understand that, you know, it's massive to not have her there.
Oh, yes, it's very hard. So, you know.
But she does make herself known. So, you know, that's what spirit will do to give you peace. And it's like she's one that, you know, she wants you to know she's around, and she enjoys, you know, which often I get that message from spirit, is they enjoy the living, even though they're in the spirit world, they get to enjoy life through you.
Yes. Yeah.
So she's on that journey.
Well, I'm glad to know she's okay. She's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. And, you know that it takes them a lot to, you know, to connect with us. So the fact that she's done so much already with you shows how hard, you know, she's doing her best from, you know, from the spirit realm to give you all these messages. And it's so lovely that you acknowledge them and you're aware of them.
I do. That's why I wanted to know if my grandmother had anything to say to me that maybe that I need to hear, or just anything, because I wouldn't know. So I just, yeah. Hard.
She's definitely happy up there. And there's definitely the acknowledgement with you and opportunities around you. So I really want you to be open, and it's almost like within that message, you need to say yes. When something comes along, even though you might feel a bit like you're stepping out of your comfort zone, just say yes and worry about it later.
Okay.
Okay, because it's like you've got some big stuff happening, and you know, don't let your inner fear or self-doubt stop you, because it's like she wants to enjoy this journey with you. So it's like she wants to see you, and it's like, I have to say with you, you're going to make your mark. So you will go further than what you think in what you're doing.
Right.
Okay. And sometimes in a message like that, it's like I have to tell you that. So you're, instead of just thinking, oh, I can go this far, I want you to go, I can go this far.
Yes.
Right? Because you really... Sorry, you go.
No, oh no, that's okay. I just wanted my grandmom to know how much I really did love her, because like I said, we were together for 5 years, so that's a long time to be with somebody every day and stuff like that. So
absolutely,
I have no regrets.
She's also, and she knows that, like the fact that you sense her and you know you communicate with her. And I also feel like when you were just talking then, she was showing me something about opening and shutting the door. So I don't know whether you've noticed like doors that you go, no, I've shut that, but it's open again, because she's showing me she does that.
That she opens and shuts the door? Yeah.
And I feel like I specifically want to go to the bedrooms, like even around where she was in the house. It's like, you know, sometimes when you go, I'm sure I shut that door, but it's open again. Or there's a cupboard door randomly open. It's like she's opening and shutting doors.
My back screen door, I'll shut it like it does. I always think it's the wind, but then it's the summer, so I always wonder.
That's right. Well, she's showing me doors. So, and what happens with spirit is when they give you signs and you acknowledge, it's almost like that's your green flag to say, yay, I've got the message. So then they go crazy and they'll really amp it up a bit. So when you see the door open, acknowledge her. Say, thanks, Gran. And what will happen is, she'll do it stronger. So, you know, it's like they love encouragement. And, you know, I often get that where, and often that happens, that will happen when I've done a reading for somebody. I'll say, look, these are the signs that they're showing me that they give you. And sometimes we, in our human existence, we're so busy and caught up in focusing on what we're doing, we don't notice things around us. So once the spirit comes through and says, I do this, this, and this, and then all of a sudden you start to take notice. And, you know, when we go to, one of my biggest things is nothing is a coincidence. So when we go to, oh, okay, we've got the door opening, now you're going to really notice it. And, you know, it would have been happening the whole time, but it's just sometimes we need to link in the, you know, because our logical brain says, oh, it's the wind or somebody left it open, or, you know, it's the same as another common one that they love to do is keys, you know, move keys and, you know, or get the lights to flicker, you know. And she's got a good sense of humour, so there is always going to be a little bit of trickster around her, and that's why I feel like going back to when I first and that's when I first connected with you. I said, oh, I've got mischief and a sense of fun. Well, she's got that.
Oh, and I'm always jolly. I always smile at everything. I don't know. I'm such a nice person.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why, you know, I want you to embrace these opportunities, because you know, you are very angel-like and you are a very genuine person who is, you know, full of fun, and you're ready to embrace things. And I find when you've got that personality, and especially for you, you're at a young age, you've got so much ahead of you, and the flow of it's going to be amazing because you are selfless. You help people, you know, you're here not just for yourself but to also share with others, and that's part of your mission.
Yes, well, thank you.
So keep that up, because you're doing great.
Oh, thank you. Yes, where I work, you know, you have to interact and stuff with the elderly, so I already had that experience with my grandmother. So
yeah, beautiful. And that's your calling, and you're great at it. All right, I have to go now. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. Bless you. All right, that's another week for me, Tonia Reeves, Australia's Psychic Cowgirl, signing off. Thank you very much for listening. Woohoo!